And well, while it is good news for the monarch butterflies in Mexico, these butterflies have not been faring well in north of the border. These winged beauties are in danger. According to a new study, America's butterflies are disappearing, with numbers down 22% since the year 2000. According to a study published in Thursday's journal Science, the first ever countrywide systemic analysis of butterfly abundance found that total number of butterflies in the lower 48 states has been falling on average 1.3% a year since the turn of the century. 114 species are showing significant declines and only 9 are increasing.
One of the main findings of this paper was that we've lost about 1 out of every 5 butterflies from 2000 to 2020, which is a massive reduction in abundance over just such a short time period. So if you imagine you went out to go watch butterflies in 2000 and you saw 100, and you went back to the same site in 2020, you'd probably only see 80 individuals. So it's a really kind of sobering finding, and that it was over only, 2 decades.
A team of scientists combined 76,957 surveys conducted in 35 monitoring programs and blended them together so an apples-to-apple comparisons could be made, and ended up counting 12.6 million butterflies over the decades. Last month, an annual survey that looked just as the signature monarch butterflies, which federal officials plan to put on the threatened species list, counted nearly an all-time low of less than 10,000. That is down from 1.2 million in 1997. While annual rates of decline of 1 to 2% may not sound significant, they are worrying when compounded over time.
It's hard to project into the future, but I think we can learn a lot from what's happened in the past. So the rates of decline that we estimated here of 22% over 20 years, that's starting in the year 2000. And we know that so much land use change, climate change, and other anthropogenic stressors have already been affecting biodiversity for decades, if not centuries, if you think back to the Industrial Revolution.
Now, there are 650 butterfly species in the U.S., but 96 species were so sparse that they didn't show up in the data. Another 212 species that were found were not enough to calculate trends for. Some of the species that people know well had large drops. The biggest decrease in butterflies was in the Southwest, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and Oklahoma, where the number of butterflies dropped by more than half in the 20 years. The climate change, habitat loss, and insecticides tend to work together to weaken butterfly populations. This is according to the study. However, all is not lost. Habitats can be restored, and so can butterflies.
And so one of the reasons that we did this study with butterflies is because we could. And we can't do an equivalent study on bees or on flies or on beetles. But all of the things that are harmful to butterflies are also harmful to these other species. So we have every reason to think that these declines are representative of other insect species.